I remember like when what was it? 50 Shades of Grey or like when what was that? Twilight? That those movies came out and the idea was, oh, well, guys just do not like romance. Like they just cannot get emotional. I'm like, well, one, you're incorrect. Like I can understand why you believe this is because again, at the time, I believe the whole trope of most TV shows and most movies was to turn everything into some goofy love story. Like, take, I don't know, Caprica is supposed to be the prequel to, um, what's that show called? Battlestar Galactica. Now, a surprising amount of women like Battlestar Galactica because, yeah, it had the story, but it also had, drama and intrigue and all that. And because of that, not a surprising amount of women liked it. But then everything had to be a love story, everything had to be a drama, everything had to be this and that. And you get Caprica, which was a travesty. And I believe that was kind of the trope at the time. But I can see why they would believe guys just do not like love stories because, again, you see like the girlfriends dragging their boyfriends into the fucking just to see Twilight, dragging them into the movie theater, and you're just like, well, fuck, I just want to see what movies came out at the time. It's been a fucking while. I just want to see the King Kong, or I just wanted to see this. I wanted to see movies with some fucking action, right? But I do believe you're incorrect. Well, they're incorrect, right? Guys in car are 100% fine with love stories, right? Like I like Titanic, right? That shit made me cry, and I think most homies will attest to that. Like, and I believe most homies like Disney love stories because again, just to be clear, those love stories have nothing to do with like sex or nothing to do with like intercourse or physical attractiveness, but has everything to do with true love. And I believe guys dig that. The reason guys do not like 50 Shades of Grey because okay, let's look at the plot. You have gr- boring ass, zero character ass female lead who can either have the rich guy, the rich business owner, wealthy guy, so guy A or guy B, who's a little less rich but looks a little hotter than guy A, guy B, she gets confused. She goes off, sleeps with guy C in the fucking alley for no reason, and ends up falling for guy B anyway. I don't know if that's the 50 Shades of Grey I don't know if that's the story. I don't really care. But that's kind of the idea. It's like the idea is you have someone who brings absolutely nobody, I mean, absolutely nothing into a relationship, and she just falls into falling in love with the guy. And I understand why they have no personality because the point is for women to interject themselves into the position of that female character. And it's the same thing with Twilight. You have Belle, someone who doesn't even look that cute, someone who's kind of annoying, who just has zero personality, zero character. But no, she has this goofy looking vampire guy named Jacob, I think. No, it's not Jacob. I don't even know his fucking name. But then you have the werewolf asshole. I think his name is Jacob. Whatever. And I think at the time it was either the werewolf, it's team vampire asshole or team werewolf douchebag. And I just found that shit to be cringe. But again, it's fine because that was for women, right? Us guys, we don't come in and be like, oh, this isn't for men. Well, then this is a problem. This is clearly sexist. Edward, I think his name was, should roll up to Bell's school with an AK 47 and start depopulating the schoolyard with lead. No, I'm just kidding. Forget I said that YouTube. It's a joke. It's metaphorical. And it's like, well, there should be more action in these. Like, because women wouldn't like that. And okay, I think that it's okay to have things for women and things for men, but there's my tirade over. Now, apparently Disney completely cuts Prince from New Fairy Tale. And again, they're doing this with almost every single one of their remakes or remasters or prequels or sequels. They're completely cutting out the love interest, which is what made Disney popular in the first place. And guys dig this shit. Guys and girls and whatever gender you are dig this shit. So the fact that they're turning away from it makes absolutely no sense. It's like they know they're pissing people off. They know this shit isn't going to sell because what are they marketing this shit to? Right? Like, who's the demographic that's going to watch these new remakes and new remasters? But, well, at least in this particular case, the Disney newest animation features Wish. Now, what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, we're going in the fucking mainframe here. Wish is 100% new. It is 100% original. I'll give them that. Alright. Animated featured Wish is set to be a return to its traditional fairy tale roots. Oh, really? It has everything fans expect from the studio's golden age, but it might be missing one particular element. Now, see, this is just Disney's hubris right here. I do not believe it has this because, okay, what were fans expecting from the studio's golden age? They're expecting the love interest. They're expecting the prince and the princess to come together and be like, oh, hey, we love each other. And it has nothing to do with, like, subversion. It's not where, the wife is cheating, the husband's the douchebag, right? None of that goofy drama bullshit that nobody likes. Okay, maybe a couple vitriolic people are okay with that. They want their to be subverted, but if every single project is that, if every single project is no, there is absolutely no love interest whatsoever, then people are going to start asking questions, right? They're going to be like, okay, so is there a push to remove this from their movies? And apparently, yes, right? And again, to their credit, this is 100% original. Wish 2023 is being marketed as the ultimate Disney movie, harkening back to the classic fairy tales of Walt's days. This is just flat out hubris. They're incapable of doing this. They do everything in their power not to do this, right? And it certainly does look the part. Well, I guess maybe whatever. But even when it's singing heroine, animal sidekick, watercolored inspired design, and over the top villain voiced by Chris Pine, it's still missing a crucial ingredient to the classic Disney formula. Although the studio is built on the foundation of princess stories, the prince archetype seems to be dying off. No, they're doing everything in their power to make this not a thing. They are making it a direct, thing that they are trying to do away with. There's nothing against female empowerment, but not every male audience member will identify with the characters. Well, the point from Star Wars and Marvel, well, that's not the point, right? We can differentiate between reality and fiction. Frankly, all I want to do is be entertained. And I'm one of the people who cares about the story just about as much as the action. Now, some people only care about the action, right? And some people only care about the story. But again, I'm trying to figure out what is the demographic. Like, what is the marketing tactic of being like, oh, there will not be a prince to this. Like, no, there'll be none of that. It will just be a woman. It's like, okay, what is your demographic here? Like, is it children? Like, no parent is gonna like make their children like they probably do it as a punishment, but no parent's gonna make the child watch this. Like, they're definitely not gonna make the child watch like the past couple of live action Disney movies. Like, I don't know, the Princess and the Seven Dwarfs, right? Or I guess they're not dwarfs anymore. It's the Princess and the Seven, you know, diverse short people. Like, no, like no one's parents is gonna. They're not gonna make their kids watch that shit. Disney pulls the plug on Princess for Wish. It's like, but why? Like, what there is a push to take away relationships from the movies, and I just want to know why. Like, you know that is what your audience wants. They want it. They want the relationships. But you're taking that away, and I'm assuming it's out of spite. So the question is now, why the fuck should I give you my money? Right? You know, I work hard for my money. So why would I give it to you just to give me a product that you know I'm not going to like, you know I'm not going to care for, at the risk of sounding like Portlandia? What about men? Skit, this isn't the first time Walt Disney Company has shortchanged its male audience. Well, again, it has nothing to do with, oh, guys want to see other men in the movie. That's not what it's about. It's just about finding true love, which most people can attest to, right? Most couples, most married couples can attest to. Like, it's not. This isn't a gendered thing. I don't understand why they're trying to push it this way. Ignoring Strange World's massive misstep, Disney hasn't known a proper, well-rounded, three-dimensional male protagonist since Ralph Breaks the Internet or Big Hero 6. What, like, who the fuck talks like this? Nobody thinks like this. Wish doesn't necessarily need a male lead to fit the classic Disney formula. Why not? Like, what is this push to take it away? Who's asking for this? It's not the fans. Like, one, Disney has become the fast food of entertainment. Most people, like, people are moving to anime, moving away from Disney, moving away from Marvel, moving away from just Western media in particular, right? Who is asking for this? I feel like they're just making this fuss out of like, because they know it's going to make people, like, get people riled up, or well, the two people that actually care about these movies are going to be riled up. Everyone else is going to be like, yeah, I'll just watch Uzaki-chan. Like, if I want an actual genuine relationship or slice of life, I'll just go to anime. You know, watch Rent-a-Girlfriend. Watch Fruit Basket. Like, well, you know, fine, take this shit away. I mean, it's your loss. Wish could save Disney's box office woes. This is just, I don't know. Probably. I mean, it's original. I'll give them that. It is an original. Like, they haven't had an original anything since Frozen. Like, this, I probably, like, there's probably people who's gonna watch this just out of principle. Which doesn't necessarily mean whatever. Even Disney's male royals often went unnamed with only minutes of screen time. However, shouldn't male audience members have an animated figure they can relate to and identify with? I'm about to have a fucking aneurysm because it has absolutely nothing to do with that. Guys don't look at movies and be like, oh, okay, does that pixel have a penis or a vagina? Okay, if it doesn't have a penis, I just cannot relate. 0 out of 10. People do not think like this. Like, what I look for is a good story, good artistic direction, good, what else do I look for? And I feel like I know what I fucking look for in a movie. Like, I want action. Like, I want the big fight at the end of the movie. I want to massive to the good guy and the bad guy duking it out at the end. Like, that was the essence of, say, Marvel. Like, the essence of superhero movies is the fight between the hero and the villain. That's the culmination of the movie, of that movie, of the super, even the comics. But again, the problem with Marvel, what the fuck happened? Okay, let's forget about that. What the problem with Marvel is the villains suck. The villains are just effectively placeholders, and well, I guess this is unrelated, but in DC Blue Beetle, they made the villain sort of just this. Well, I mean, spoilers by the way. They made the villain like, I guess, this indigenous kid that was scooped up by wealthy capitalist American white woman that, and obviously they have to do the whole fuck capitalism thing because the movies can't help themselves. And I mean, I guess he like there's a scene in there where it showed him as a child staring at his mom get fucking roadblocked by bombs, and that was a genuinely emotional part of the story. It just sucks that the villain was just so fucking terrible. And see, and that's the problem with most Marvel movies, most superhero movies in general, because the villains are just dumb. They're like they're shoo-ins. They're like, okay, we need a villain. Who are we gonna have? Well, let's just have this some random guy who's just there. That's the problem. And again, that's what I look for, and I believe most guys, most men look for this. Like, I'm not gonna generalize, but most men are fine with that. And again, most men are fine with, relationships and with love stories if they're genuine and not some like being subverted, or again, like where the wife is cheating on the husband's an asshole, and then they get divorced, like, or if the woman, the female protagonist, has like 5, 6, 7 guys as her option. They're all hot. They're all rich. Like, guys don't care for that. And again, I don't mind if the movie's meant for women. It's just you have this push where anything that is meant for guys is bad and needs to be changed, but everything that's meant for women is fine. And that's just something I want. If I see it, I'm gonna call it out. Now, Disney, just as their feminine counterparts do with Asha, Ellis, and Moana. Whatever. I've already been over this. In this writer's opinion, Disney doesn't just need another fairy tale, it needs another Aladdin. Again, they keep harking back to movies that were actually fucking good. As much as Disney has done for heroism and female representation in movies, they have neglected some of their most iconic heroes in the process. Again, speaking like an ideologue, not as someone who actually watches the movies, Asha Wish lead played by Ariana DeBose, is definitely a breath of fresh air when it comes to Disney heroines. No. While she does bring some new flavor to the table, influence from Belle, Anna, and Esmeralda, she also checks a lot of familiar boxes for the adorable princess archetype. Checks a lot of familiar boxes? Like, what is this? A fucking press meeting about the movie where they throw darts at a fucking wall and be like, oh yeah, put that in, you got strong female lead, you got female color. Like, is that what this is supposed to be? Like, is this not supposed to be a product that people want to see? Is it just supposed to be a political message or thrown out into the audience just for it to be there. It just doesn't make sense. And I did read something about how apparently she's a Moorish queen, a Moorish individual. So apparently, like spent way back when in Spain, the Moors were Islamic invaders that conquered Spain. I think they conquered it a little, and they held it until a little after Columbus sailed the ocean blue to the Americas. And I heard story, and I read up on that because I'm interested. And it's like apparently they had helmets of knights stacked up so high that even if you sat on a horse, right, you couldn't see over that stack of knight helmets. So I mean, let it be known that the Moors were not entirely good people. Now, what does this matter about this? Well, okay, we talk about colonialism as bad, right? But they can't really define what that is. Like they're like, but according to them, is apparently like, and by them I mean the woke ideologues that look at just fiction and want to interject pieces of their ideology into it. And it's like, okay, if colonialism bad, if conquering is bad, why market it as a Moorish princess? Like, do you not understand what that implies? And I doubt I can say it on YouTube, but apparently it would make her a product of, what's the word I'm looking for? A product of a relationship that is non-consensual between two people. Whatever. But anyway, back to this. I shouldn't read all this. Like, my brain is hurting already just reading this. Well, most fans are very excited to see. Quit fucking lying to me. Turning Elements and Studio Gray, they're not going all the way with the concept. Furthermore, many call the projects unfinished because of some creative choices. Well, I'm not surprised. Creative choices that nobody asked for. This is just a unilateral decision made by Disney to spite people. At this point, it's a safe bet to say that looking to Disney's next animation features After Wish is more than a little premature. However, if Disney is serious about returning to their golden age, they should seriously consider doing a classic adventure. Yeah, I mean classic, meaning going back to what made them popular, and that is romantic relationship, because that's the point. That's what made Disney popular. It's what made guys and girls alike dig it. And now they're trying to be divisive. Now they're not wanting to give you what you want. But back then it wasn't the case. But anyway, see ya.